Now we're going to multiply using the grid method. So here we have 7 times 12. Now we know how to count up in steps of 12, but if we didn't, we could do 7 times 10 and then 7 times 2 and then add up our answers. So we can show what we're doing with brackets, and you always do what's in the brackets first. So we find 7 times 10, then we find 7 times 2, and then we add up our answers to find 7 times 12. So with the grid method, we can write our single digit number at the side, and then, because we've partitioned 12 into 10 and 2, we can write 10 and 2 at the top of our grid. So in this part of the grid, we have 7 times 10. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 7 times 10 gives us 70. And now, in this part of the grid, we have 7 times 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 7 times 2 gives us 14. Now we just need to add up our answers. So what is 70 plus 14? 70 plus 14 gives us 84. So 7 times 12 equals 84. Now we have 6 times 16. And just as we partitioned 12 into 10 and 2, how can we partition 16? We can partition 16 into 10 and 6. So we can work out 6 times 10, then work out 6 times 6, and then add up our answers. So with the grid method, we can write our single digit number at the side, and then we can write 10 and 6 on the top of our grid because we've partitioned the number 16 into 10 and 6. So now pause the video and see if you can work out 6 times 16 by finding 6 times 10, then finding 6 times 6, and then adding your answers. So we have 6 times 10, so we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 6 times 10 is 60. And now we have 6 times 6. So we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So 6 times 6 is 36. Now what do we need to do? We need to add 60 and 36, and that gives us our answer. So 6 times 16 is 96. Now pause the video and see if you can answer 9 times 16 using the grid method. So we can partition 16 into 10 and 6. So we can do 9 times 10 and then 9 times 6 and then add up our answers. So we can write our single digit number at the side of our grid and our partitioned number on the top. So if we have 9 times 10, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 9 times 10 is 90. And now, if we have 9 times 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54. So 9 times 6 is 54. So now we need to add 90 and 54. And that gives us 144. Now you might not be able to add 90 and 54 mentally, and if you can't, it's a good idea to use a number line or use column addition to add the numbers in your answer boxes, because you don't want to get the wrong answer after all of this work. So now we've added 9 times 10 and 9 times 6, we know that 9 times 16 equals 144. So just as our 10 times table plus our 2 times table equals our 12 times table, our 10 times table plus our 6 times table equals our 16 times table, because you can partition 16 into 10 and 6. So for 6 times 16, we added 6 times 10 and 6 times 6. So we added 60 and 36 to give us 6 times 16, which is 96. And for 9 times 16, we added 9 times 10 and 9 times 6. So we added 90 and 54 to give us 9 times 16, which is 144. So you don't need to memorize your 16 times table, but you do need to know how to work it out using partitioning. And the same is true for other teen numbers. To get your 17 times table, you can work out 10 times plus 7 times. To get your 18 times table, you work out 10 times plus 8 times. And how would you work out your 19 times table? Well, 19 partitions into 10 and 9, so you can work out 10 times plus 9 times.